You wake up one morning and thousands of flights are permanently grounded on the tarmac. You try to buy a coffee, but the card readers are dead. The banking system has stopped communicating entirely. Inside hospital wards, the stakes are physical. Intensive care units rely on constant data streams to keep life support machines and patient monitors running. When those networks go dark, the situation turns critical in seconds. For the average person looking at their phone, the breakdown is absolute. The screen throws a vague error message about investigating data issues, and suddenly, you are completely severed from the rest of the world. We like to think of our data as living in the cloud, a weightless, decentralized web floating above us. But the cloud is actually incredibly heavy. It lives inside physical warehouses packed with dense rows of hardware, all running on the exact same software. Our entire digital infrastructure relies on a small handful of highly centralized protocols and deep operating system files to function. These are the internet's invisible choke points. Because these systems serve billions of people at once, a failure at a single choke point triggers a chain reaction. The scale of the modern internet means that one flawed line of code can paralyze entire continents in a matter of seconds. To understand how a global crash happens, we have to look at the lowest level of the software stack, the operating system's foundation. This diagram illustrates how the Windows operating system manages software behavior. Every program on your machine relies on centralized control centers, specifically the registry and dynamic link libraries, or DLLs, which provide ready-made functions. Dozens of applications point inward to a single central core to run properly. If a company pushes a botched security update directly to one of these core files, the operating system's kernel is corrupted. It instantly severs the connection to every surrounding application, stripping the machine of its ability to function. The mechanics of this flaw act almost exactly like a logic bomb or a boot sector virus. It strikes at the deepest level of the hard drive, running its destructive code before the user can even attempt to stop it. Centralizing these core functions makes computing highly efficient. However, that same design choice means one flawed update can break millions of machines worldwide without warning. But what happens when the operating systems are healthy and the failure happens before the data even reaches them? This brings us to the network layer, and specifically to load balancers. These are the massive traffic controllers that manage the immense volume of data hitting enterprise networks like banks and hospitals. This flowchart shows how a virtual server uses a virtual IP address, or VIP, to mask a massive pool of actual backend servers from the public. The VIP takes a massive stream of incoming data and evenly splits the stream into dozens of smaller, manageable pipelines, ensuring no single server gets overwhelmed. Problems arise with what engineers call configuration drift. Network administrators constantly write new routing rules or custom scripts to manage traffic. If a custom script with a typo gets pushed to the load balancer, the internal routing logic scrambles. Immediately, the traffic controller drops the entire flow into a digital dead end, or slams millions of requests into a single server while the rest sit idle. As a result, the users are completely locked out. A load balancer is designed to prevent server crashes, yet a single human misconfiguration turns the very tool meant to distribute risk into a single point of failure. There is a third choke point, and it doesn't require an internal error at all. It relies on deliberate external overloads that push perfectly configured infrastructure past its physical breaking point. Hackers achieve this using botnets. By infecting millions of poorly secured smart devices, like security cameras or home routers, they create a dormant army. With one command, those disparate devices snap into alignment and charge at a single target. Looking at the state of visualization, you can see how an attack exploits the internet's stateless protocols. The botnet floods domain name system, or DNS servers, using open UDP connections. It hurls terabits of junk traffic at the node, burying the legitimate requests from real users. The receiving servers try to answer every single fake request. The physical processor spikes to 100% capacity, the memory burns out, and the machine simply crashes under the weight. An organization can have perfectly coded operating systems and flawlessly configured load balancers, but if the foundational protocols of the internet itself are weaponized to drown them, those internal defenses are helpless. When the screens go dark and the airports grind to a halt, the end result is exactly the same. Whether the spark was a corrupted OS file, a misconfigured load balancer, or a massive botnet, the root vulnerability is identical.
We have been building networks this way for over a century. Even early telephone systems routed thousands of calls through single manual switchboards. The drive to make communication faster and more efficient has always relied on centralized bottlenecks. That is the paradox of modern computing. Extreme speed and seamless synchronization require highly centralized hubs to manage the data, but concentrating that much responsibility in one place guarantees catastrophic fragility.
While our world runs on a shared stack of network protocols and foundational OS architectures, the next global outage remains a constant possibility, held back only by the engineers guarding these invisible choke points.